Sometimes I get asked to speak at these things, and I feel like a lot of people put up a lot of words, so I tried to go very few words and just explain a few things about that. A little bit of background. I've been an entrepreneur for about 10 years. Founded 4 startups. The one I'm in has been a side hustle, but now it's a full-fledged startup with a staff and investment from investors and customers. So we're kind of getting going in that world. So my experiences tonight that I'm going to share is more my humble opinion of lessons I've learned raising money, going to the valley, raising angel money, going into accelerators, hustling clients, making money. So let's start. One thing that I've read every business book. I feel like they don't say that enough, that this is really fucking hard and most people should not be in a startup. Straight up. It is kind of a little sadomasochistic. One of the things that I think it's important to note with a startup is don't start a startup because you think it is cool. You have to really love what you're doing. Like, you have to. If you do not, you're going to create a lot of friction and a lot of unpleasantries in your life. You're gonna make bad relationships, so you really have to follow your passion. And literally, if you're in a startup because you think it's cool, you should stop. Again, I don't think people say that's enough, but I am not that skilled. What I am really good at is being tenacious. So if you phone somebody for a job, you have to phone them like 7 times. I've had customers that I phoned literally 16, 17 times over the span of 4 or 5 months. Went down and met them in Seattle, phoned them, emailed. People have shut me down for years only to give me $250,000. So it's absolutely critical that if you get shut down, if you go for an interview and they say no, you really have to keep going because their opinion does not matter. And I guess that goes into consistency. There is kind of not like a Taoism of entrepreneurship, but you have to be consistent. You can't go all in for a month and then kind of take a couple weeks off. If you can work a 9 to 5 and you have a side hustle and it's a great little project, like, you have to do it every day or every second day. You have to be consistent. Again, like, I see entrepreneurs, friends of mine, that have raised money, spent it all, blew it all, and now they're going to go work at some startup. Like, you have to be consistent. You always have to be learning. You always have to be growing. So this is what I say in my little bio. I like people to think that I'm a hustler because you have to be. There are way too many startups, way too many highly funded startups where nobody knows how to do anything. Like, being in an accelerator in San Francisco was one of the best things that it ever did for me because I got to see the hype and drinking the Kool-Aid of what the Valley is. And there's a lot of people that can raise money, but not a lot of people that can phone up a customer that they don't know and say, hey, as that woman said, so what do you really want? You know how many people, if you have an idea for a company, literally, you should find out who's going to buy your product and you should phone them and you should be genuine and say, hey, my name is Quinn, or whatever your name is. Do you have a couple minutes and can I talk to you about this idea that I have? Everybody will talk to you, but you have to hustle. You can't wait for somebody. My problem when you read a bunch of, like Fast Company or Mashable and 5 steps for this and 15 steps to do that, it's bullshit. Literally, it's very simple. If you have an idea, make lists, follow the items, do it every day. If you get shut down, don't worry, keep going, and literally something will happen, I guarantee you. Okay, that's me.
Any questions on this side? Okay. I have a question. Do you follow Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yep, love that guy.
I feel like you do, right? Like,
Totally.
I feel like...
Gary V's the best.
Yeah. Any questions over here? Wow, this fucking audience.
Good, that means it sank in.
Oh, yes. Okay, Elliot.
Another one of the speakers.
I
like
love
that.
it. Don't worry.
I like how that guy roasted you on your company up here. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll hold back the guns.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. You said something about hustle. How do you hire hustle?
Ask them if they used to sell weed. How do you hire hustle? You can tell what I did in high school. No, how do you hire hustle? I don't know. You have to hire people that are very brash. Like it's like hiring for thick skin, smart but not too smart. You know, like I'm not trying to take away from myself. I'm very smart, but I'm kind of dumb because when people tell me no, I just, whatever, I'll phone them again. Then I'll phone them again. Like their dismissal of me doesn't affect my, personal power of who I am and the friends that I have. Like, so I don't know, you have to find that. And I look for that. Right now in my company, I am the core person doing business development and I got a team of 9, soon to be 15. Like I need to hire me, but then I meet people and I'm like, man, I could totally outpace you. I can't hire you. So I don't know, it's hard.
It's hard to hire salespeople.
It is, yeah.
I'm in sales, I can say that. Any other questions over there? Yes. Okay, we'll start over here.
Hi. The one challenge I've been facing is properly managing my time and getting everything I need to get done in a day done. What would be your suggestions on, say, time management and really being effective in every single minute of life?
That's a really existential question. So, to get real deep, I meditate, and I grew up in a Buddhist family, and I think it's super important to turn your energy within and be real. I swear to God, like if the one thing, actually, I can answer that. If you kind of get off social media and you spend your time living slow and you be mindful, you'll be surprised at how much time you actually have. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's one over here. Okay. Oh, Danielle.
So it sounds like you handle rejection super well, but do you ever have those days when it's not happening and the rejection does get to you? Please tell me yes, I need to hear that.
Totally. I'm not trying to lie and say that it's not hard. There are lots of times where I go home to my wife and I'm thinking, oh my God, like this just doesn't look like it's going to happen. But I guess I can rely on those values that I put out because they have paid off. So I don't know. Like you have moments where you question your faith in the project you're doing like that, like you said, like when to give up. Well, you should give up if you feel like you're not going to be able to do it. But if you're giving up because no one's bought in or you haven't pitched it the right way, then that's not a reason to give up. So, yeah, I do have lots of those days. And now that we've raised money, it's actually even worse because now you have people that have given you lots of money that have very big expectations of what you need to do. So, you still have to. But again, I think with entrepreneurship, it's a very messy game. This is not an easy life. It's really not. It's like sometimes I think, man, I could just go and work for somebody. Like I try to get recruited from Google. I'm like, man, I should have taken that sometimes. That would have been so easy. But no, I'm glad I don't. I can't really take direction that well.
In the Vancouver culture, how important is to look the part and to make sure your team looks the part of a startup?
Looks the part?
Yeah, like towards investors, like is it directly reflected of you, that you know what you're doing, or that you're very kind of quiet, or do you have to be really outgoing? What is your experience in that?
I feel like lots of the investors that we have are very savvy businessmen, so they invest all sorts of entrepreneurs, quiet ones, brash ones. I think what's really important is having a business idea that either makes money or will make money very soon, and that you're very realistic with what you try to accomplish with money.
I think I saw one more question here, or am I mistaken? Yes, okay. And then we've got one more over there, and then that's it.
Okay.
So how much hustle have you attained since you got started? Like, I have no hustle. I have thin skin. I don't have that confidence. Like, whenever I watch Gary V scream at me through the video, and it's like I want to mainline whatever he is smoking or sniffing.
Totally. No, I'm with you. Me too. So are you asking like how to get started?
How how do you get hustle?
How do you get hustle? It's like that's a really good book. I feel like I have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I feel like I have to prove myself. And if I'm like interpersonal with my own psyche, I feel like that drives a lot of my ambition. So maybe you got to get a chip on your shoulder and feel like, fuck the world, I'm going to show you what's up. Maybe that helps. Sure did for me.
Don't you feel it's like hustle is something that's driven within? And I don't know, like I think...
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's more, that's why I just put those words up, is because it's, to be a really good entrepreneur is more about self-exploration, self-understanding, like inner awareness than probably anything. Like I'm fortunate. I have literally people that invested in me that made $1.5 billion. I'm not trying to say that like it's some cocky, they wrote me a $50,000 check, but they're unbelievable. They're like Shaoman. Like you meet these people that like dominate in this world and they're super zen and they're very self-determined and they're very, you know, like, so if in a way you got to work on yourself and all that other stuff literally will come.
Okay, last question.
Well, I'm pretty close. So can we do something different? Can we do a little bit of brainstorming?
Sure, I love brainstorming.
Okay, I'm part of a family business. Our company is called APS Auto Parts. We manufacture, distribute, and sell direct-to-consumer running boards. That's our #1 product. So I know your product line is to do with collecting data when people wear shoe soles,
Yep.
right? So what kind of data can people collect when they step on a running board? Let's do some brainstorming.
You mean a running board like on a car?
Yes, side steps, Nerf bars, running boards.
Is that what a running board is?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? Why does somebody step on a running board to begin with?
Well, if you're not 5'11", you're 5'3", like I am, or if you're pregnant, or if you're handicapped, or if you're a dog.
So you would want to pick up on pressure data?
Yeah?
I'll tell you, pressure sensors are brutal, so you shouldn't do that because they drift a bunch. I don't know, that's a hard one. I'll think about it, and after we can talk about it. Oh, also, I want to plug. I'm hiring for 4 positions. I know they said that you shouldn't sell, but I am selling, okay? I'm looking for, we're a team of like 8 or 9, soon to be 14. I need like an executive assistant / operations. I need a UX UI designer, because I've been doing it all. I need a hardware. We have a hardware guy, but he has way too much work. And I need a systems engineer, which is a little bit more complex and very technical. So if you know anybody or are that, come and give me your card.
Is there anyone here with that background? Raise your hand.
I know. I saw her. I said to my guy, I was like, we got to go talk to that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, make sure you do
Yeah.
that. We'll also tweet it out.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Quinn.